Hi, Kitty Pies. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Bold and the Beautiful edition. Today is Friday, April the 22nd, 2022. All right, guys. So let's just get into it. It wasn't much to this soap today, and you know, Bold and the Beautiful is one of my favorites. But it wasn't much to this today. It's still the same thing that they've been saying. Okay, so Ridge talks to um, Sheila, and he pretty much tells Sheila, you can go home. You can go home. There's nothing here for you. You know, if any, I'm sorry about, you lost Finn, but if anything comes up, we'll let you know. And she tells him, my son died. I lost my son. And he said, Lee and Jack did too. And then she tells him, I get no slap from you. I saved Taylor's life. And he just tells her, which I already told you I was going to tell her, Taylor wouldn't have been up there needing her life saved had it not been for you. But he tried to be nice because y'all know Ridge is a jerk to me. But he trying to be nice to Sheila. And I'm like, ma'am, just take the niceness and go on about your business. Because she was like, yeah, I just can never catch a break from you with you. And he says, I tried. She was like, I tried to end my life. And he said, I don't even know what kind of what kind of demons you got running through your head that made you want to end your life or whatever. You put it right where you said it, Ridge. Because Sheila, I'm like, ma'am, you already know you killed your son. You got their daughter in the hospital. Go home, but she can't go home because she's too afraid that Steffy gonna tell the truth on her or whatever. I'm like, that's all the more reason for you to just pack your bags and leave, ma'am. But anyways, Baker comes up and Baker says he needs to talk to Steffi. He said, I tried to talk to her earlier and the doctor said no. He said, but I'm now, it's been a little few hours and now he wants to try. And Ridge said, what we're not going to do is talk about Finn. And then so he explained to Baker what's going on with Steffi, how she's repressed her memories, and she just all she remembers is Liam, Kelly, and them being married and everything. So Baker says, I've dealt with people like that before. I promise you I can handle it without upsetting her. He said it might actually help to just think about it. So he was like, okay, but I'm gonna be there or whatever. So back on the other side of the hospital, Liam is in the room, and Liam grabs up Kelly and he tells her, Bridget comes in and she says, I need to examine the patient. And he was like, okay. And Steffi is still doing the same thing, just saying how much she loved Liam and how much she needed him. And he said, we're going to be right outside and everything. And she was like, oh, I can't wait to go home and be with my husband and my daughter or whatever. And Bridget's just like, whew. So Bridget is examining Steffi, and Steffi, she's asking her questions, and Steffi still does not remember that night. And she tells Steffi, you're doing well physically. She was like, you're right on track. Everything should be good. There might be a setback, but I doubt that you have one. She said there could be a possibility of a setback, but she doubts she has one. And right now she just needs to rest so that she can remember everything that happened that night, and hopefully everything that continues to happen, right? So at this point, Ridge and the detective come in and they say that they want to ask her a few questions. And she tells them, okay, but be gentle with her. And Ridge says, I'm going to make sure of it. Nobody, he's not going to ask her, anything about Finn or anything. So I look and I said, I know Sheila is not in this room too. She is. So Sheila is in this room with them. And I said, well, why do I keep letting Sheila go in the room? But I think it's because what she told Baker earlier, which was like, have you found the man who killed my son? So Sheila playing this where, she's the innocent, biological mother who's just trying to find out what happened. So I guess that's why they keep letting this woman in this room. But anyway, so he starts to tell Steffi, think back to that night and why were you in the alley? And she said, it was something urgent. And he said, what were you doing? Like, what was it? And so she tries to remember, and then Steffi starts seeing the alley. And I said, oh, Sheila, it's over. But she's not going to remember. I'll be surprised if this storyline didn't go on for at least a month. I don't know. It might end like she might Monday we might come back and she remembered everything. Who knows? But right now Sheila is like really concerned because Steffi is remembering and she's seeing a blurred figure. And he says, it reaches like, who is it? Who shot you? And her eyes get big. And then, Sheila, they, it was funny because on closed caption, they said, you heard a heartbeat. On closed caption, they said Sheila's heartbeat. I said, y'all a mess for that. But, so she's nervous, like, oh my gosh, this girl finna tell him it was me. But that's not, I don't understand, Sheila. If you don't want them to know it was you, the place to be is not at the hospital. They're going to arrest you on the spot. What are you doing? So we go outside this hospital room. Now, mind you, everything is happening on the right outside of Steffi's hospital door. Like these swinging doors and everything. So we're going to ignore all that because it's the soaps. So on the outside of the hospital room, Brooke and Taylor are going at it, right? So Brooke and Taylor are going at it because she's saying like, you like the fact that Steffi can't remember. I'm paraphrasing here. Because you want her and Liam together. You want them to be together. And Taylor said, "What, ma'am? I resent the fact that you think I'm taking advantage of my daughter who has just been shot and who is repressing the memory because it was too tragic for her to try to remember. I resent the fact that you think I'm trying to take advantage of that and have her get back with Liam." She said that doesn't even make sense. And so Taylor and Brooke go at it with each other, where Taylor's like, nobody's telling Steffi what really happened. And Brooke is like, she can't be with my daughter's husband. And so here come Hope. Now, I told Hope yesterday, come get your mama. But clearly, Liam needs to come get you and Steffi. Excuse me, come get you and Brooke. Because here you go. Well, Steffi's doing great. She's got her little family, my husband. I said, girl, stop it. And so Taylor is like, what is that supposed to mean? Well, she's got Kelly and my husband. And they were like, oh, Kelly was here. Don't you think that would be confusing for Kelly? And all that. That's what Brooke was saying. And Taylor said, I mean, she got to see her mom. So then, thankfully, Liam came. So Liam came up and they asked him, isn't that confusing for Kelly? He said, what's more confusing is that she was at home not knowing where her mom was. So at least this way she got to see him. Now, I was thinking, because Kelly got to be like, what, 4 or 5? And look, kids talk. So I was thinking when Steffi kept saying, it's just the 3 of us or whatever, Kelly was going to say, what about baby Hayes? Something. What about Finn? What about Hayes? But they didn't have to do it. So moving right along. So Brooke and Taylor keep going back and forth. And now, Hope is all, how long are we supposed to let her think she's married to my husband? And Liam says, well, she's just repressing this. He was like, and he told Hope, you've been great with this. And all I asked you to do is be patient. Well, how much longer do I have to be patient? Like, girl. And I'm like Taylor with this right here. Because Brooke said, this is affecting my daughter or whatever. Because Hope over there acting like she just can't deal with Steffi believing that Liam is married to her. And I agree with Taylor on this. I'm sorry that your daughter, it's been a few hours. It didn't even seem like it's been a few hours, but let's give them 4 hours. It's been a few hours that Hope has had to pretend that Liam is Steffi's husband. I'm sorry about that, but we're not gonna act like she's just suffering so much when it comes to my daughter who lost her husband, who clearly had it done in front of her, and that's why she's repressing the memory, who was shot, who was clinging to her life and now has this long recovery. But I'm sorry that your daughter has to pretend that Steffi is married to her husband for a few hours. And Hope was just like, yes, Hope, you're wrong for this. You and your mama, both of y'all need to go home. And Riz, you need to come out here and tell Brooke to go home. But anyways, Liam says, we all care for Steffi. He trying to calm Taylor down because he clearly she was upset. And she says, I know you care, Liam. And Brooke and Hope was like, ugh. And she was like, I'm sorry. I know this might be difficult for you, but my daughter is clinging to Liam because she's repressing all of this. And nobody's going to go in there and tell her that Finn is dead or what else, or everything that happened. I'm sorry, you're not going to do it. And so here come Bridget coming out. And Brooke says, Bridget, we need a second opinion. Bridget already told you what she told you before, but let's go ahead and ask her again. So Sheila, Bridget, what do you think about, you think that Steffi is not strong enough to know about everything that happened? And Bridget said, listen, in my professional opinion, she cannot know right now because it can send her on a spiral, and we don't know her mental, we don't, she's fragile mentally right now from what has happened. But Bridget said, but don't worry, because Baker's in there right now, so she could get her memory back, right, be getting it back right now. We don't know how long it is, but y'all need to wait. And here go her, well, how long am I supposed to wait? Girl, shut up. I just, right now, I cannot stand Hope or Bridget, like, or Brooke. It's like, get it together. The girl is only bitch. She just woke up thinking that the man was her husband, and y'all are tripping. Liam and Rich, come out here and get your people. But that was the Bold and the Beautiful today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you Monday for a new episode.